Fighting climate change while global energy demand is on the rise is a major challenge, especially as many developing countries are aspiring to higher standards of living. With energy, you produce potable water, food, medicine, materials to build a house. It turns your lights, your car, your home appliances. It powers trucks that can bring food from the farm to your local store. Without energy, you can't run hospitals to treat patients. You can't operate schools or universities to educate young people. The entire human civilization is dependent on energy. That's why many people nowadays experience this dilemma of living a good life versus saving the planet. Can we do both? Yes, we can. Through a clean energy mix using technological capabilities we have right now.
Global warming is one of the most crucial issues that we are facing at this moment. Just from the Industrial Revolution, the global temperature has increased by 1.6 degrees Celsius. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but as per NASA's latest report on the gravity recovery and climate change, we find out that Antarctica itself has lost around 127 billion tons of ice per year just from the year 1993 to 2016, and the most unfortunate part is that the rate has tripled in the last decade. I'm currently working on making solar technologies better so that we can use that as the alternate source of energy for our day-to-day activities, as the main reason behind all this global warming and climate change is the carbon dioxide and other gas emissions from our day-to-day activities. But I am pretty aware of the fact that no single alternate source of energy is suitable to combat the huge energy demand of mankind at this moment. Thus, I strongly encourage everyone to adopt various different alternate sources of energies like solar, nuclear, biomass, etc. in order to save this beautiful planet for the future generation.
The nuclear energy that we have right now already works very well. For example, in France, they use 75% of their electricity comes from nuclear, which is clean energy. But people are working on things, new technologies to improve even more the nuclear industry. For example, one of the things they're working on is walk-away safe reactors. They cannot melt down. So imagine, for example, that something happens, like a tsunami, for example, and they don't have electricity, and like even if the operators, like everybody, just walk away from the plant, nothing's gonna happen. The reactor will not melt down. Another interesting thing that we're working on is the waste problem. So the way reactors work right now is that we put uranium inside, we use about 5% of it, and then we take it out, and that's considered waste. It's not actually waste, it's unused fuel. And it's possible to use that fuel to like 100%. We just need a special type of reactors. Those reactors are called breather reactors, and people are working on them. We even we have built a few of them. Like, we know it works. Once we have a lot of these type of reactors, we could like almost completely eliminate the waste problem. That's for one part. For the other part, we would use all the fuel, so we would be like more fuel efficient, and we could actually power like the whole planet for like 100,000 years with nuclear.
My name is Chris Kiefer. I'm a Toronto-based emergency physician and father concerned about public health and climate change. Air pollution is called the silent killer by public health specialists. In Ontario, before we phased out coal in the early 2000s, the Ontario Medical Association estimates that 5,800 people died prematurely, and there were 10,000 excess hospitalizations per year caused by air pollution. I remember those days in the emergency department. We saw a lot more life-threatening asthma attacks. Nuclear energy provided us with 70% of the power we needed to phase out Ontario's coal fleet. We went from 53 smog days a year in 2005 to 0 in 2015 when the coal phase-out was complete. In the early 2000s, asthmatics used to have to spend most of the summer indoors to avoid potentially life-threatening asthma attacks. That's why I support nuclear energy.
This blue thing right here behind me is the McMaster nuclear reactor core, where more than 50% of the world iodine-125 is produced. Iodine-125 is a life-saving medical isotope that's used to treat prostate cancer. Cobalt-60, which is not produced here, but generally produced in the CANDU reactors, is used also to treat different types of cancers, and also to perform a brain surgery called the gamma knife procedure. More than 52 million people in the US have medical procedures that employ cobalt-60 for sterilization or disinfection of medical tool purposes. So just imagine that if we did not have nuclear reactors, how many people would suffer? So applications of nuclear energy are not only limited to electricity or medical treatments, it also can be used to produce commercial products. For example, semiconductors, which are in every electronic device. And the reason why semiconductors are made in nuclear reactors, because like alchemists tried to convert lead into gold, nuclear reactors are actually capable of converting material into another material. So that's how semiconductors, when put into the reactors as silicon, they become another material, that's phosphor. So also nuclear energy can be used to separate salt from water, what's called the desalination process. So you can use it in places around the world where there are no rivers, no lakes, and like I said, these nuclear reactors can run for a very long time, so you would have a constant supply of drinking water. You would end the water crisis around the world. All of us here believe that we have to do something, and coming up with a solution or advocating for the solution is how we do something.